All right, so I've hit record. So we're gonna get started. So we've got Darren Kelly here. Darren owns Divine Shine Clean, I believe. Is that right, Darren?
Yep, Divine Shine Cleaning. Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And you're going to be in the hot seat with us, which means we get to ask you lots of questions. We're going to talk about your successes, your failures, any advice you have for somebody just starting a cleaning company today, and basically the journey from zero to where you are today. Okay, so Darren, Divine Shine Clean, can you walk us back to the very beginning, why you decided to even start a cleaning company and why and your location?
My background is sports. So I played professional football and I also played collegiate football. And
Nice.
so I came to Minnesota to play football. And, I was doing the whole pursue the NFL thing, work out for this league, that league thing. COVID came, I had injuries that occurred. And I'm like, okay, if I didn't get millions of dollars from the NFL, I always knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur for my backup plan. And so unfortunately, the backup plan had to kick in because the world was falling apart with COVID and stuff, and it was just so much uncertainty. So I'm like, okay, I think it's time for me to hang up the cleats and really start to see what business opportunities could work for me.
Fair.
Yeah, and I researched a lot of different business models. I considered going back to school because I call them the humble hustles. And so like, it's cleaning, it's roofing, it's all the dirty stuff, that the non-sexy businesses,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to get any more certifications. I already graduated college. I just want to start making money. And cleaning literally is number one. I'm not saying that because obviously we can all agree. Like, I genuinely believe that cleaning is the number one business model to get into right away to start making money. And that's why I chose cleaning, because
That's
you
awesome.
don't have to, there's no barriers to entry. You can start right away. You can start cleaning yourself or you can start not cleaning yourself. And so I started cleaning myself, and
Nice.
that's how I got into it.
So
And
you know
once
how hard it is when you send your cleaners out, you know firsthand exactly what it's like.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So how did you learn everything that you know now? Like, did you take a course? Did you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started off like I had my company, and it was actually called Real Deal Services, and I went through a rebrand.
Yeah.
And I was still taking cash payments, I was taking check payments.
Oh,
I
Darren.
was just kind of out there figuring it out. And then my boy CJ Smith, he's a realtor, and I was actually renting out one of his properties. And one day he came over and we were chopping it up, and he was like, I started a cleaning company. And I'm like, and I started laughing at him because I'm like, bro, you can't clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in the NFL, so he's got investments and stuff. I'm like, bro, you can't clean. So I'm kind of like being facetious about it. And he's like, bro, I started a cleaning company. And he showed me you guys' course, showed me Rohan, Kevin, showed me the whole course. And he's like, bro, like, you're cleaning, you don't have a proper website, you don't have like no systems, you don't have anything. And so he sent me the link to Rohan's course, and like literally I finished the course in like maybe like 2 weeks. Um
You just
I,
sped through it. I love it.
yeah, I just, because I already had a cleaning company. I just did, there was just so many missing gaps of information that you guys helped me fill in. And once I had those gaps filled, I was like, oh, I know it for a fact I can do this.
I love people that have kind of self-taught with the on-demand version, because I'm assuming that's what you mean. Like, you just watched the recording, so you didn't even get to do the live, the
Nope.
group coaching with Rohan and Kevin and now me and Jen. But we did the exact same thing, kind of, except for Jen got to do the live calls, every day in January, which these guys are running again, coming up for January 2024, which is really cool. So that's awesome.
Okay.
And I love the fact that you went from struggling on your own to then putting systems in place that work,
Yes.
right? Because it's the online booking that is the game changer.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Literally.
So what year did you start?
I started in 2019.
Okay.
And I started and I was still kind of flirting with football. So I was still getting some calls from some teams.
Yeah.
I'm traveling around. I'm still kind of flirting around with football. And then COVID came in 2020. And I'm just like, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to go all in on this.
And so where are you at? So now what's your kind of monthly revenue, if you don't mind sharing? Approximately what are you billing right now per month?
Yeah, so it fluctuates. Right
Yep.
now, I'd say on average, we're doing around like 23,000 a month.
Okay.
Our highest month ever, I'd say it's 35,000.
Okay.
And so we're trying, obviously during the warmer seasons, during moving season, that's when you're going to get those types of numbers.
Mhm.
You know,
That wasn't obvious before for me, Darren. I didn't know
oh
that.
yeah,
I thought it would be Christmas. I thought Christmas was going to be like, this is where you make a lot of money. But August, man, August is good.
literally August was
Mhm.
my most lucrative month ever. Like
Yeah,
August 2023, most lucrative month ever.
same. But it makes November brutal. I'll say that much because then November comes
Yeah,
and you're like, what?
like the high and then the low, and you're like, oh, because you just want it to stay forever, you know. And that's a mindset as a business owner that you need to get used to. It's like it's not always going to be like ups. There's going to be lows. There's going to be, and you have to just get used to that constant up and down.
So, okay, so you're doing like 2022. How many cleaners do you have a month?
I'm actually switching business models. So I
Mm,
know you guys teach and wisely so to start with contractors. But
yep.
as I started to grow and make more money, I realized that I would like to have employees because I want to grow a brand and I want to have more control.
Okay.
So we got rid of a lot of contractors. We offered them opportunities to stay contractors or to become employees, but our employees are going to have priority to the clients.
Fair.
I would say last year when we had no employees, I was leveraging anywhere from like 6 to 12 contractors at a time.
What percentage are recurring and what percentage are one-time cleans?
So the actual percentage I'm not sure of
Okay.
is as far as the specific amount,
Yep.
but we are more one-off cleans
Same.
than recurring. And so the goal
Okay.
for the business is to flip that around,
Yeah,
because
100%.
you
Yep.
want to build a book of business. You want predictable income. You don't want to be now, yes, making 20 something thousand a month off one-time clients is very nice. And it still keeps your bills paid and it still keeps you enthusiastic about running the business. But
Yep.
as you get some skin in the game and you start, really getting your time in, you're like, I want to be able to maybe sell my business one day. I want to be able to predict my income, and so that's our goal now. That's why you see that book back there trying to
Yeah.
get my leads up,
Yeah.
and build the culture so that we can retain more clients and grow that brand.
So you're in Minnesota. You're in
Yes.
Twin Cities, Minnesota. Do you know the population of your like the area that you're doing approximately? Is it like 1,000,000, 300,000, 5 million? Like
Yeah, it's in the millions. It's a
it's in the
pretty big.
millions.
I was about to say,
Okay.
I could Google it for you quickly, but it's a pretty big city.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
because we have St. Paul and Minnesota. So I'm located in Minnesota, but we're probably the highest ranked cleaning company in St. Paul. We're not even there. So a lot
Nice.
of our comes from St. Paul.
Nice. And
Mhm.
where are your leads coming from then?
The
If you're doing
majority.
so many one-time cleans, then you must be really generating a ton of leads.
Yep. So Google local services. Now we're starting to change up some stuff because Google local services is starting to get really expensive and it's hard to track, and
Yep.
so but it does work. Like I cannot deny
Yeah.
that Google local services is it works for sure.
Okay.
So now we're trying some different methods of marketing, but I would say the most consistent lead generator by far is Google local services.
What is your marketing budget per month then?
Right now it's between like 3 and 5K a month. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got to talk more, Darren.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk
Mm-hmm.
more. Yeah.
Yep.
So just to compare that with what Jen and I do, so our ad spend is about $300 a month, and it's all organic leads.
Wow.
And the reason we stopped doing GLS and anything else is that they are stopping them from going to our website. And our website is beautiful. And our website is optimized for our target demographics. So we don't
Okay.
want everybody. We want the right clients that are going to be recurring, that are now 80% of our revenue. That's the magic for us, is organic leads rather than paying for leads that haven't done any research. They don't know your business from anyone else.
Right.
And they're just calling for quotes. Anyone calling for quotes, I'm like, we don't have time for that. It's on our website. Let's go. So
So,
yeah,
so
we'll
are
talk
you
more.
So so I'm assuming that you put a lot of money into like SEO. So I'm assuming you're doing like the like newsletters and stuff for SEO. So how are people organically coming? Maybe that might be because of where you're located. Because I would love to do the more organic thing, but like I don't know how to actually get people to my website without, obviously I can do the newsletters and I can do the backlinks and all that good stuff.
Yep.
But I'm like, it's that's still competitive too.
Yeah, totally. Dude, if you've got
Those
20 doing it the way you're doing it, because if you
Mhm.
could get 40 in recurring, doing it the easier way, which we can show you, and then 20, now you're at 60, now you're beating us.
Any sauce you got, we can exchange sauce, and this gonna be a positive show.
You got it. You got it. It's not that hard. It is something every day. We use, so we update. Okay, let me Google you right now. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to find your business. There, can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, brilliant. So what I was saying was up here, we know these are all ads, so we don't even look at them. Like our eyes are so trained to just skip over ads, but we do stop here. Okay. And so Mary Maids and Molly Maids, they're always going to be first, but your target demographics is if they're like me, they don't want those big companies. They want your small local companies, especially post-pandemic. Right. And so now Karen, she's doing great. She's got 255. She's doing great. She's rocking that's your main competition right now. But this one down here, they're doing a great job. Right touch. Great job. You're not coming up. Okay. So this right here, if you can fix this, you're going to start coming up and then you're going to get all organic leads.
And this is all organic stuff. This is right.
This is all free. Free. Now, to get to there, to get to number 4, number 5, or number 6, you have to be in the top 3. And you do have some pretty heavy competition because of these reviews. So it's partly reviews and having them be active. That's what Nice Job does for us. It's integrated with our Convert Labs. So it just runs and we get reviews, consistently every week. Even if they're bad, it doesn't matter. Just having them come up. And then the other thing is, so let's look at somebody who's got an actual listing. Well, I'll try this one. Okay, so let's look at Karen actually, because hers is the best. Okay, so she does updates. She hasn't done it since 2020. That's crazy to me, but she obviously doesn't need to. So what you would do is every single week, we do it about 3 times a week right now, but we can probably get away with 1. Nobody knows for sure. There's a lot of YouTube videos about this, but how many times do you need to do this? And there's so many various opinions on it. So we fluctuate between 1 and 3 times a week, depending on our time. But what you do here is you're going to use a lot of keywords, but organically. And actually, she didn't do a great job of it. She's got a lot of white space. And she should be doing like best cleaners, and she's focusing on move out cleaning, or what does she focus on? Most of your cleaning services. Yeah. Okay. So keywords, cleaning services in Minneapolis. That's it. Right. So we do that consistently all the time. We update Yelp, we update Google. That's it. We're not posting a gazillion times on Instagram. We don't TikTok. We don't Facebook. This is it. I know, right?
Really good. And I can have my VAs do this stuff.
Of course you can. My VAs do all this. Yeah, absolutely. See, this person started doing it in 2021. But here's the thing. You also have your services. So these guys are good. They're smart. They've got all this. Okay. These are all keywords. Right? Yeah.
Can you pull my business up so we can do a little review?
Let's take a look.
It should be Divine Shine Cleaning Company. That maybe well, actually that'll yeah, there we go.
Hey, this looks great. Yeah, you should be up there. That is gross. I hate seeing a dirty toilet coming up first, but I get what you've done. You've done before and after, and that's great. But you don't have, so you don't have products. You do have services, good. But you don't have products. So the products are also free. So you can add, and here's all your reviews. Good job. Do you have any updates?
I'm taking me some notes.
Good. Love this. Love this. Yeah. So down here, you should have updates. That's what you're missing. Yeah.
Updates. So okay.
That's it. Because your reviews, I mean, you've got 4.9 out of 107. That's awesome. And then products you can do, I'll show you ours just to compare it. Um, sure. Okay, so you're beating us on reviews. Well, on number anyway, we're down to 4.8 because we got a couple ones in there. You can literally like these, there's keywords in here: cleaning services, cleaning company, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, one-time standard cleaning services. Like you have to make it seem like you're having a conversation with Google, but you are keyword, like you're adding a lot of keywords. And then down here, so here we go. And this is so random, you guys. We got nominated for this local, where did it go? This local, this is Canadian Choice Awards for best businesses in Canada.
Wow, very nice.
So that's a good update. And then you'll see she's probably used ChatGPT. Yeah, she's totally used ChatGPT. I don't care, it's fine. But this would all have keywords, hopefully, in it.
And so the updates is just new pictures or new just stuff.
Yeah, and ideally you wouldn't be using stock photos. We're lazy. We use stock photos, and we use ChatGPT. Sometimes I'm like, we probably shouldn't be using ChatGPT. But again, like the internet is so filled with people debating, do you need it? Do you not? Whatever else. Okay, but I'll show you what the products look like. Wait, did they get rid of products? They did. Okay, that's why it's not showing up. So Google used to have products, which meant we had photos of bi-weekly cleaning services, and then we would list what's in the product. They've gotten rid of it, but it used to take you directly to that website, to our booking page, and it had tons of keywords. So this must be new. I think they just changed it because I've been coaching people on doing it like last week. Nice. So they must have just changed it. But anyway, very similar to yours. We've got, this stuff, women-owned, LGBTQ friendly, transgendered safe space, absolutely. And that's it. Like we're not doing anything. It doesn't cost us any money. And I did not hire an SEO specialist because damn, they're good at selling their services. But
they are, my goodness.
Yeah, and I just learned everything off YouTube. And I shouldn't say Jen, my sister, because we were spending about what you're spending on advertising and doing our head in because the quality of the leads were really not great.
Yeah.
They were cheap. They were bargain hunting. They wanted hourly. We do packages. Like, just so frustrating.
Now I have taken my spend down. I've just diversified it into other, different things. And I'm starting to hire some people to help me with some stuff. And so Google Local Services is not taking as much of my money as previous, but so my goal is to bring that marketing budget down. We have the reviews. We do really good work. The proof is there, absolutely.
Absolutely. Just start doing that every day. And in a few months, hopefully you'll start seeing and with having Nice Job running, you'll see yourself get up into the 3-pack. And that, man, once you get the 3-pack, it's like,
that would be so okay. But
so Darren, excited. We've lost our spot there many times where I'm like, we're not in the 3-pack, and then I freak out because the phone stops ringing. I'm like, okay, GLS, put all the money in GLS. And then I get frustrated. We spend all this money and then we go back and we just go back to basics every time and it works every time. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Nice. So, okay, you mentioned diversifying. So what else are you doing and you're focusing a little bit more on commercial now. So let's talk more about that.
Yeah, so just residential is nice, obviously because it's how you can start. You can get in and make money right away, but I would say like for the long-term game and just for more predictable income, you definitely want to have a few commercial contracts in there, maybe even some government contracting in there. And so I am working on getting all of my certifications like the MBE, which is the Minority Business Enterprise. Nice. If you're a woman-owned business, if you're a Black-owned business or any type of minority, I would highly advise you to get that certification. I have my certs. I have every state is going to be individual, but they're all the same. There's these specific certifications that you can go through, and like the MBE is like $350 or something, $375, something. I forgot how much I need to apply for that. So applying to those certifications is a way. B&I is another way, like networking groups. And I have a marketing method that I call the Golden Groove that we're starting to use.
All right. What's the Golden Groove?
So the Golden Groove is a nonstop marketing method, and it details it's a 4-week process. So the first week of the process is we send out a sales letter. It's like hey, we're Divine Shine, we're in your city, we're located near you, like, hey.
Yeah.
And then
And is that written like email or like paper?
yeah, so it's gonna be, so it's a letter, and we
Okay.
send them in like in fancy envelopes and all that good
Okay.
stuff, because
Nice.
people will throw away like a regular basic white envelope. So you kind of want it. So we use like really nice fancy black. Our business colors is black and gold. So we use these like sleek black envelopes,
Nice.
and we send them a sales letter. And the hopes of that is to not have them throw it away because it's personalized.
Mm-hmm.
So we send that out week 1, and then week 2 we send out a cold email to have my virtual assistants like scrape. So it's a whole process. So what I do is I'll either drive around, or I have my virtual assistants like go and like find businesses for me. We'll
Okay.
put them into, we actually use HubSpot for this. And so we'll put them all into HubSpot.
Yep.
And and so we have maybe like 125 car dealerships, like a bunch of
Smart.
private schools,
Yep.
bowling alleys or target clients. These are all huge buildings, hospitals, like the biggest buildings that I could possibly aim
Wow.
for. I'm aiming for them. I'm just like, why
Nice.
not?
Yeah.
And so we've got a bunch of big buildings on there. Some of them are smaller, but they're like nicer. Like we just got a client from the Golden Groove Method, and it's a law office, but it's like so nice. And
Yeah.
it's not
Easy.
yeah,
Easy cleaning. Cleaners are happy. Nighttime
yeah,
cleans. Good
yeah,
pay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're one of the better law firms, actually one of the best law firms in Minnesota. So they're very well connected, and I'm building a connection with that owner. And he's like, bro, you do a good job with my office. I would be glad to refer you to my rich friends. And I'm like,
There you go.
yes.
There you go. And they're always looking
So,
for cleaners. Yep.
yeah, absolutely. So week 1, there's the sales letter. Week 2, we send out postcards. So it's like I don't know the dimensions, but it's we send a postcard out. If I have any land around, I can try, but I think
Yeah.
I gave my team to my GM to
Okay.
start mailing those out. And we send those out. And
Nice.
week 3, we do a cold email, and we do a cold Instagram message. And then week 4, we do another round of postcards. And we just
Wow.
repeat it over and over and over again, because the whole psychology behind sales is like, they say like 7 touches or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you just want, it's like passive aggressive marketing, where it's like, it's consistent, but you're not like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
so it's always running. And so like the client that we just got, they hit us up 6 months later. From, like
Good.
6 months later, they hit us up, and we were just nurturing them in HubSpot. And 6 months later, she's like, hey, are you guys still interested? I would love to do a walkthrough. Our current cleaning company sucks, and they stopped communicating with us, and I think it's time for a change.
There
So
you go.
obviously, I went up there, I
Yeah.
did another walkthrough, and I submitted a proposal to them, and now we clean their office once a week.
Amazing.
And so that's, and so the investment that goes into that is like envelopes, which
Right.
is, you can get those I just ordered a bulk from Amazon. I just ordered like 250 envelopes for like $65.
Okay.
And like postage stamps. So postage
Yeah.
stamps are a little expensive. You can get like 100 of them for like 90s, close to $100, because it's
Yeah.
close to $1 per stamp. Plus they're pretty expensive, but it's cheaper than GLS.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
obviously, I pay for my virtual assistants to actually like do a lot of this. I just hired a GM to kind of run some of this stuff for me now.
Mm.
And so yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing for marketing now.
Interesting. Interesting. It's a totally different approach. I love it.
Mhm.
We have somebody in our community that I'm going to introduce you to after this. Remind me to. His name is Philip, and he has a company that does direct mail.
Mhm.
And it's probably going to be cheaper than the way you're doing it, because it's all in the way they do it. So they add the stamp, and they do, and it's all personalized to that person. So I think you'll like it.
See, this is why us cleaning entrepreneurs gotta stick together.
You got it. You got it. And I've been really resistant to the direct mail thing, just because our approach has been, we want people to be looking for us, finding us on Google, and then making the call or sending the query or adding the booking. Like, our approach has been so simple, and it's worked. And so the only time I think about doing direct mail is when it's November and I start panicking. And then I'm like, maybe I got to start dropping off postcards at everybody's house or whatever. And then I'm like, no, wait, dude, like, it's just the season. I just have to wait.
Yeah, it's just the process of how it goes.
It
you know?
is. And we get commercial clients that way. Now, our commercial clients are probably only 5% of our, maybe 10% of our revenue, but commercial I've found is really awesome. The cleaners love it
Mhm.
because we still charge like at least $50 an hour. So the cleaners make 60% of that, which is about 30. That's our lowest like hourly rate. Some of them are
Yeah,
75 an hour.
nice.
And they're all kind of small local businesses like us. And so, they want another small, like it's a mutual support thing.
Yeah,
And they see us on Google, they see our reviews, and then they reach out and then I do the walkthrough. And there's no paper, but our biggest challenge with commercial, and tell me what you think of this, has been that they want to do paying in 60 days, or it's not really 60 days. They want to do it. Sorry, our smoke alarm's going off. I don't know if you can hear that. But so it's the terms, right? We just want credit cards, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, pay immediately, charge immediately. Like,
yep,
I don't want to deal with this invoicing stuff because it just slows everything down.
yeah.
We pay our cleaners same day. I don't know if you do that, especially if you're doing employee, you're probably doing weekly or bi-weekly.
Yeah, I used to pay daily, and then so now I've got an accountant and all that good stuff. So I just use her payroll software, and
Yeah.
she pays everyone out for me. I I don't. When I first started doing commercial clients, I ran into that and I got tired of it. And so now it's like I want to work with who I want to work with. So if you're not gonna pay me on at least in a net 30, then I don't want to do business with you.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Now, when we get to the point where we're a multi-million-dollar company
Sure.
and I'm not tripping off of getting paid right away, sure, I'll take a net 90 or net 60, but yeah, no. So yeah, people ask all the time. I was like, no, I'm gonna send you an invoice at the end or the beginning of the month, and I would like it paid between a time frame. And we actually in our commercial cleaning contract, we actually have a late fee as well. Because
Nice.
yeah. And so I just positioned myself as like, you're not doing me a favor, I'm doing you a favor. So like, you're gonna
Love
pay
it.
me when I need to get paid. you
Yeah.
know. Yeah. So later, like I know banks because I want to get into banks because they're really solid, but they pay on like net 60s. And I just don't like that in
Yeah.
net 90s. And I
Yeah.
don't like that. So I would advise anyone out there who's in commercial, like if you can't afford to wait that long, then just don't.
Don't.
All business is not good business.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. I agree with that. And you can fire the clients anytime you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's circle back around and then we've got to give everybody time to ask questions. So I wanted to talk a little bit about employee versus contractor. So you
Mhm.
said you want to have more control, you want to have better branding and just kind of more consistent staffing.
Yep.
How has that been working since you've made the change? And are your employees getting enough work? Like, are you able to fill their schedules? Because are you guaranteeing them a certain number of hours or certain amount of money?
Yeah, so how I do it is I have one like lead cleaner. She's
Okay,
like her name's Zeta and she's amazing. She is a rock star.
awesome.
Um, and so she gets the bulk of clients. She's priority. She's like, she's
Yeah.
priority cleaner. And then everyone else they're like semi part-time, so we still like I said, we have a lot. It's very similar to the contractor model. It's like, you have jobs come in, you assign a contractor. So I just hire intentionally. So I don't hire people that need full-time work. If you're
Right.
like beating down my door for work, then we already have a person who is our full-time cleaner. So like I just hired 3 people last week. And one of them is a DJ. The other one, she's a social media manager. She's starting a social media management business. And the other one, he works in politics. And politics can be seasonal.
Mhm.
And it's like, bro, I just want some part-time income while my DJ gigs are slow. But I'm like, do you want to be a contractor or an employee? And so like, it depends on how much you want to make in upfront or whatever. And I just let them know, like, bro, if you're a contractor, you're gonna have to file your own taxes. You're gonna have to be insured, all that good stuff. And clearly you need money. So you probably don't have the money to be going to get all that stuff. So you have the option to be an employee and I will buy your equipment and you'll be
Oh,
insured under
wow.
Shine. And so I give them a two-way option to choose what they want to do. So a lot of people don't know the difference between a contractor and an employee. So I just educate them and then let them make a decision.
That's great. Okay. And so when they choose to be an employee, what's the difference in pay between contractor or employee? Because there must be a big spread there.
Yeah. So I pay employees 43% of each job.
Okay.
And I pay contractors 55%.
Okay.
So we go 55, 45, and employees it goes 43, and whatever, so they get 43% of the jobs.
Yeah.
And so I really don't like the whole hourly thing.
Yeah.
I think we all can agree that you're going to get screwed over, or your cleaners are going to get screwed over by paying hourly. And so 43 was kind of like that magic number that I can I talked with some number nerds and some business consultants to see how I can make this work, because as I started to adopt the employee model, I'm like, I don't want to underpay people for doing quality work. Like,
Nope.
I just but like, how much do I pay them? Like, I still having to pay thousands of dollars for their equipment and these workers' comp and insurance. This is very expensive.
Yeah.
So 43% is the number that we came down to. And so yeah, everyone's happy. The contractors are happy. I was doing like a 60-40 split, spending a lot on marketing. But if I can bring my marketing down, I probably can take my employees' pay up even more. And so that's why this is really nice. Even you telling me about this new what was that, Google updates and stuff on there, and kind of that whole thing, because organic leads, that's I don't have high turnover. Most of the time, like most of the people that I've started with, they're still here. There's been a few of them, for whatever reasons. We have a pretty high retention rate for contractors and employees.
That's really good. That's really good. And I think that's really, we do as well, but at the same time, like, life happens, they change, they move. We deal with a lot of people leaving our city because it's such an expensive city to live in. And so, they have to earn, like, we have to charge more, we have to pay more. But we do deal with them leaving our city. And it's the reality for anybody who is like a worker in 2023 or 2024 coming up in our location. It just is, because unless you own the business and you're the millionaire, you can't afford to live here, so
right.
It's just knowing your numbers. It's knowing your tax rates in your location. Workers' comp, we have to pay. It's not an option. It's 2.1%. So
wow, even for contractors, you have to have workers' comp? Wow. Dude, see, that's different.
I have hired writers, and I have to have workers' comp for a writer doing work at their desk, and I have to pay. Now, we have so low injuries that our rates keep going down. So I think we only pay it's either 1.7 or 1.9% now. So that's great. Like, our cleaners are really good at safety, and I push hard on, you don't get on a ladder, you don't get on anything above a step stool, you know your body best, you got to know your chemicals best,
Yeah, and I would, to all listeners, I would love to operate my business 100% contractor. That would be amazing. The only thing is, sometimes, especially if you're getting started, finding cleaners who actually have insurance and operate as like thorough business owners can be a challenge when you first getting started. And and so I've had a cleaner break an $8,000 lamp in a mini mansion before,
and she didn't have the right insurance.
So it was, exactly. So it was the way that worked. After that situation, I'm glad that we were able to work something out. But after that situation, because I was being a little lenient at first. So you talked about, so we can definitely want to talk about some mistakes that I made. One of the mistakes that I made was being lenient on like insurance at first, until something actually happened. And now you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
This insurance thing.
An $8,000 lamp is a big deal.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So I don't play any games with insurance now. It's either I'm going to pay for your insurance or you're going to pay for your insurance. And I do insurance checks to make sure, because you can use stuff like Thimble and like Next. There's a bunch of, but you can lapse your insurance at any time just to save a couple bucks, and people will do that. So I have to do insurance checks, and it's annoying, it's like, so I would love to do that. I just try, and new business owners just don't understand. Like, so like last year I had this situation where I was talking to some of the contractors about insurance and stuff, and they're like so confused as to what's going on and why I can't do this or why I can't do that. And I'm like, if you don't, you're gonna have to pay for this. Like, if you get your money up front as a contractor, you're gonna have to file your own taxes at the end of the year. So you're not making more money, you're just making more money up front. And I had to get contractors to understand that. So it's like, if you become an employee, you'll get paid a little less, like your paychecks will look a little less, but there's less stuff you have to do on the back end. And you have to have a certain level of like personal development and discipline to set money aside for taxes and set money aside for insurances and stuff like that. And a lot of new business owners, they just don't. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like
You
I had to
wouldn't
build.
know. Yeah.
Right.
You don't know
So
until you screw it up, and then you have to pay for an $8,000 lamp.
we gotta tap in together because we gotta
I love it.
communicate more.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? I'll throw this over to everybody else who's here.
I do. So outside of not being lenient on insurance, like what else would you recommend for somebody just starting out?
Just starting out, I would say if you're willing to get in the field and clean, you will go so much farther and build relationships with some of your clients and even get some more like recurring clients. I don't know, like I teach like a hybrid business model, meaning like some people have money and they just want to find out ways to grow that money passively. And some people are poor. Some people are getting out of jail. Some people got fired. I would advise those people or people who like need money now. If you're humble enough to get in the field and work your actual accounts, I think your business will be better in the long term. Now, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying if that's your personal situation, it'll pay off for you really, really well in the long run.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I think everybody who's actually gone out into the field and cleaned, even if it's just one house, I think more than anything, you gain an enormous amount of respect for your really good cleaners, the ones that still have a smile on their face after dealing with some of the stuff they deal with, you know, more than anything.
Yes, it's so hard work, and I go to bat for my team. I don't take no disrespect. If I've fired clients, I've had cleaners tell me like, this lady is being racist, this lady is being aggressive, she's watching over my shoulder. I will fire a client like that because I know cleaning is such hard work. You know, it's not like rocket science, and it's not necessarily saving the world, but it's such hard, detailed, tedious work, and it should be respected, and it should be paid a high ticket for it. This is high ticket. This is a luxury service, by the way. Cleaning. So for everybody in the world listening to this video, if you have a cleaner come to your house, that is a luxury service, just as a massage would be or a mani-pedi would be. Just there's no difference. So it's a high ticket luxury service at that.
Kevin, you got anything?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for Darren taking the time and
totally
being here with us. Thank you, man.
Thank you, man. I love your setting, by the way. I remember when you were getting it set up in the first time, man. This came so far, man. It looks super dope.
He's got special lights. He can change the colors. You can make the background purple, blue. I don't know what other colors. Yeah.
Well, it's a work in progress. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. And then I had something else I wanted to share with you, Darren, and I've forgotten what it was, but I was thinking about it before when you were talking. Anyway, it'll come to me and I'll email you and bug you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I will say you've been very active in our community, which is always really helpful. Like having people, you know, voice what's working, what's not working, like having that, you know, 400 some odd people that all own cleaning businesses at various stages, you know, because I remember when you were starting out, I think within posting anyway, because I didn't start till 2021. So you had already started your business and were going, but then posting about the things you were doing, and it was really helpful. And I remember being like, oh man, I really like that guy. Thanks for sharing.
Same. You know, yeah, absolutely. Same.
Yeah. Because sometimes you feel like you're like talking to the void, you know, it's like, hey guys, I'm doing this thing. And you don't know what's working or not.
Yeah. And it's crazy. I thought you and your sister were like a married couple.
Oh yeah, because it's Vic and Jen.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. You know, good to meet her and her wife. You know, that's cool. They're running, you know, nice business. And then you're like, oh, that's my sister. So I was like, oh, it's her sister. Okay, gotcha. So have you ever been in the field? Like, have you ever done any cleaning within your own business, or did you start this business completely hands off?
We tried to start it completely hands off, and then we would get like what you said, you get a last minute booking and you don't have cleaners to go out, and you're like, oh, it's a $500 job. You know, we would have paid the cleaners $300. We'll make the $300. Let's just figure it out. And I mean, you know, to be fair, like we know how to clean our own houses, so we figured it wouldn't be that hard. But it is really hard, and it's hard to be efficient with your time and like to know, you know, left to right, top to bottom, and you know which products are for granite, which ones are for marble. And so we did do it a few times, and I'm glad we did. I'll never do it again. Just because it's physically and emotionally demanding work. And that's something we talk a lot about with our cleaners is like, it's not just physical labor that you're doing. It's hard on your bodies. It's also hard on your minds and your souls, your hearts, because you're in somebody's house and you're dealing with whatever their shit is, whatever they're dealing with. That's now you're in that energetic space.
Yeah.
And you take that home with you, so like, there's sometimes where cleaners will call us and they'll be like, man, I got to have the biggest shower and I got to like douse myself in bleach because ew. I'm like, okay, go take care of yourself. Do you need a day off? Because I got you,
Right.
But having that heart-centered approach has been our number one best way to lead.
Always the best leaders are lovers and empathetic, compassionate people. Always. And we fire clients before we fire cleaners. But if I have to fire a lot of clients for a cleaner, then it's the cleaner. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. And if anybody has any last minute questions or anything, reach out to Darren in our community. You should have access. You can just DM each other, right? So you can send a DM to him and ask him anything. I know I've got more I want to discuss. So
yeah, same. Yeah, if you want to have a FaceTime or Zoom or whatever, like, I'd love to just to do this, deep dive. And maybe we can even flip. So you guys can come on the Humble Hustler and we can kind of flip that around. I'm learning a lot right now. It's like I know a lot, but it's like, are you truly in what you're doing if you're not constantly learning and trying to compare what you know to other people? And so yes.
What we're doing here works in other places. What you're doing there works in other places. There's no reason we can't share the information. Absolutely. And podemos hablar en español cuando estás en Colombia.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I'll be your practice buddy.
Seriously. Like,
I need it.
I get up every morning and I practice.
Nice.
I'm using Duolingo right now.
Yep.
But I'll be in school 5 days a week when I get there. So
love it. I love it. So we'll definitely do that. I'm actually taking Spanish classes in January again too. So I got my textbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have lots to learn. All right, thanks guys. And coaching folks, we'll see you next Monday.
All right.
See you guys.
Bye.
Peace out.
Thank you, Darren.